What's up, job boarders? So some interesting news last week from the job world. There's a company called CareerLink who's filed for an IPO, initial public offering with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, CareerLink.com, which they own, used to be essentially a nonprofit job board based in Nebraska. It's been around for over 20 years. So it's essentially a regional or niche local job board. And apparently they got acquired, and the new owner is taking that platform and rolling it into other services for employers, including some kind of retention platform and staffing as well, into essentially one company. And they want to go public with that company. And they're opening up the investing to any investor out there. They're not going through the typical way you do this through initial IPO, I guess. So they're being advised by Manhattan Street Capital. It says they can raise up to $50 million in investment capital by selling preferred stock to the general public at a price of $4 per share, with a minimum investment of only $400 per investor. Starting today, interested investors can purchase shares at the issue price by using the link below. And I'll take you there in a second. So I think this is interesting. And the reason I pointed out is because I've gotten a couple calls lately from staffing firms looking to start their own job boards to help offset the Indeeds of the world and sort of control their own, job advertising platforms out there. And I think this news here kind of points to that direction, just in terms of an industry trend I see. And it's interesting from that perspective. So, they're not going public with just a career or job board here. They're going public with multiple revenue streams, which is it's always better to have multiple revenue streams, whether you're just a job board or whether you're any kind of recruiting business. So they're spreading out their model here and having different price points and products to choose from. So here's CareerLink's page here. I'll show you the job board in a second, but it says, originally founded 30 years ago as an Omaha-based organization offering job seekers access to employment opportunities throughout the Midwest, CareerLink has rapidly become a leading omni-channel employment recruiting and retention system for HR professionals nationwide. Okay, I don't know about nationwide. I mean, it's been a regional play for forever, it seems. No one really knows about CareerLink. I think I heard of the name just in passing over the years, but it's in use by over 80% of Nebraska-based Fortune 500 companies in terms of CareerLink.com. And they have I guess the job board itself has an ATS built into it. So they kind of push that aspect of it in terms of the businesses working with them. I'm assuming most of those are small businesses. But here's what they say. Let's see here. So CareerLink is now seeking to acquire independent recruiting and staffing firms. So they're adding staffing to the mix here. Challenged to compete effectively without strong technology platforms by offering its shared infrastructure, meaning technology, the job board and other stuff, cost savings, and expanded solutions suite. So this kind of reminds me of what, Career Builder did back in the day. They offered all kinds of other, I think they had an ATS, they had all kinds of other products and services they would sell to employers, except for staffing maybe, but this kind of reminds me of those monsters and Career Builders just getting into other aspects of not just jobs, right? So if you click on Invest Now down here, and this is CareerLink.com, let's take a quick look at the job board actually first. I did some searching on it, and it seems to be, there doesn't seem to be that many jobs on there. Maybe it's not a huge focus for them, but this is their search box, which is kind of weird. I did a search on mobile too. I don't think it was quite as mobile friendly as it should be. I saw some kind of images that weren't rendering properly on mobile. But if they're going to go public, they need to really look at some of this stuff in terms of technology goes. But if I do, let's say Cook in Connecticut. Let's see, let's try Hartford. Okay, it's giving me a Nebraska name. No results. I mean, they don't even have backfill in here to satisfy a job seeker search. But anyway, let's move on to, so the job board itself doesn't have much content on there. It doesn't look like. So I'm just wondering how much of this IPO is going to be focused around, the staffing business. I like the idea of what they're doing in terms of just using the job as a kind of a launching point to invest into, and you can make it more of a programmatic play. I think they do offer hey, we'll redistribute your jobs to 300 job boards. So it appears they're using some kind of programmatic in there. So it looks like they want to bring in a bunch of staffing firms, let them use that technology, and spend money on that platform versus the Indeeds of the world. Anyway, here's the Main Street Capital kind of prospectus page, I guess you could call it. If we download the presentation, which is a PDF, there was something here that caught my eye, which I thought I wanted to point out. So it talks about they operate in a highly fragmented industry, poised for consolidation. I think that's overall true in terms of the staffing business stuff. They talk about the differentiators. Used by 80% of the 4,500 companies in our home state. Well, I mean, U.S. is a big country, so it's 49 other states you're not in. So they got some marketing to do there around that. Here's what they offer: recruiting software, proprietary technology, staffing, and then retention. They have something called Pulse Technology. It's an early warning system alerting managers where and how they need to improve morale to improve retention. Here's some of their client lists. Okay. Talk about market dynamics in our favor. Competition for candidates is greater than ever. True. Internal departments, HR departments have historically done a poor job of recruiting. True. Fragmented industries and many companies. True. Here's what caught my eye, though. While there are some name brands, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Robert Half, there are no dominant players. Now, in staffing, maybe, yeah, there's a lot of brand names out there, but in the job world, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, these guys rule the roost. They have the major market share. So to say there's no dominant players there, to me, is a little dishonest. Indeed, Zip, and LinkedIn, I mean, they basically own the national job board market, if you will. So it's hard to compete with that if you are CareerLink, in my opinion. Job switching is all-time high, of course, yes. I think the underlying dynamics of the job market are true here in terms of it's going to be hard to recruit people for the next 10 years, particularly in the blue-collar space. So then they go and talk about just some more stats around that stuff. But reinventing the job search paradigm. I've heard that before. Dream team technology. I see a lot of buzzwords here. I'm not seeing a lot of here's the syndication here to different job boards, also to LinkedIn, I guess. So they may be creating their own programmatic distribution. I'm not sure. They have a resume database of 1 million people. That's not very big. When you look at ZipRecruiter and Indeed, they have like probably tens of millions, each of those companies. But any extent, more competition in the job board space for Indeed is good. So I'm not going to poo-poo that. But I just hope they know what they're in for. It's definitely a uphill climb they're going to have to battle, but I'm curious to see how they do. And it's not a big company right now. There's about 14 employees according to LinkedIn at CareerLink, and they want to raise $50 million. Though we'll have to see how much they can raise in this kind of crowdfunding IPO they have. It says invest now here. Email address, I guess. Okay, so I'm not sure what happens from there, but there you go. I want to point it out and talk about a job board in our space, kind of getting a rebirth here with some new ownership and a new plan. So we'll have to stay tuned and see what happens. So anyway, check it out. You can find all the links on the video below to HR Tech Feed and to CareerLink.com. But for now, I'm Chris Russell. Thanks for watching.